And now, this week's edition of Big Face with your host, Samantha Jane Tilton.
Hey everybody, welcome to Big Face. I'm your host, Samantha Jane Tilton, and with us today is my friend, fellow actor, awesome dude, Charlie Gorrilla.
Hey everybody, how are you? Awesome
Hey,
dude.
That's what I love that you're here right now.
No, it's great to see you, for sure.
It's really great to see you.
Yeah.
And you're in LA. You know, it's funny, your shirt looks like you're so LA.
I was like, when I was, thinking about what to present myself as, I was like, I feel like I gotta be a little LA. I mean, if I was New York, I'd be wearing like a black t-shirt and like, whatever.
Yes.
But it's different out here, for sure. For sure. The vibe is very different.
That's it. So for you guys are tuning in, you might be watching on our YouTube channel or on one of the places that you could stream the pod, which is pretty much everywhere. And so Charlie is an actor. I know him through castings, usually when I was running castings.
Yeah, that's how we met originally.
That's how we met. Yeah.
Yeah, you were always very nice. So
Charlie was always a good dude. That's why, I'm
Thank
like,
you.
I gotta bring this dude on. He's like nice. He's
maybe
good people.
Maybe a little thirsty.
Yeah.
But,
you know what?
Hi, is it my turn yet?
That's me.
Yeah, like
me?
a little puppy dog. Me?
No,
Me?
Charlie's awesome. And like, I love how I'm telling them, like, he's awesome. You're awesome. And like,
Thank you.
There's certain people where you root for to do well. And there's certain people where you're like, okay, they'll do their thing. Not my fave, but like, you've always been, not only are you talented, but you're a solid dude. And
Thank you.
it's since then always. So I'm always so happy for you with your success and everything you're doing.
I really appreciate that. That's incredible to hear.
It's very true.
Whenever, but this morning, that's amazing. On a Saturday morning, that's nice. Affirmation. Thank you.
Oh man, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
I have no idea what days of the week it is anymore.
I know. It's just like, what's the difference between a Tuesday and a Saturday? I don't know if I could tell you. But
no idea.
like,
I know. And that's
grocery delivery is how I mark time now.
What's that?
Grocery delivery is like how I mark time. I'm like, I have a grocery delivery coming Wednesday, so it must be Wednesday.
Seriously. Or like my one day that I order in like pizza is like usually like Thursday.
You're like, today is Thursday, it's pizza day.
It's pizza day. Yep. It's like, it's how I mark my life now, pizza day.
Hey, there are worse ways to mark your life.
Seriously. After wiping down the box profusely with Lysol wipes. And
it's like crazy. Like we get grocery delivery and it's like,
it's so nuts.
It's like, I know. And I'm wondering, it's like, are we ever just going to go back to like, just like not doing that?
know.
Or is it always going to be a thing now?
I'm so happy for you that you're in LA though. Because I'm in Queens, I'm in New York still. At least you guys have like air and weather.
Yeah. I mean,
Space.
I've been in touch with some people in New York and New York specifically, because I think that's such a different environment than most places in the country for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the living on top of each other, obviously the weather has been a huge factor for you guys, like not being able to get out. But then when you do, there's 12 million people, so it's like, where are you supposed to go where you can be 6 feet apart? And LA has been, I mean, when we left, I was sad. I still love New York, and we'll always love New York, but I'll be honest, during this time, having a yard, and I mean, it's not to rub it in, it's been an unbelievable week.
Oh no.
The weather has been phenomenal. So getting out and just having that space has been nice.
It's huge. I've like been praying and just like, I keep talking to people about it. I'm like, do you think like campgrounds are going to be open this summer? Like, do you think, and I'm like, pacing it out. I'm like, all right, so the only reason it wouldn't be is because they could even check us in. We could pay beforehand. They won't take as many people on the site. They won't do rafting, but it's like the public restrooms. I'm like, that might be the breaker. Like they won't open, and I'm just like keeping my fingers crossed, man.
Yeah. I remember you're like a big outdoorsy, but and you would think like, oh, the outdoors is like wide open spaces. That'd be perfect for social distancing or whatever we need to do. But then you have like one public restroom that, everybody and their mother needs to use.
Exactly. And how do they monitor that? It's like somebody would have to stand guard. Like, exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me.
I mean,
go ahead.
You go ahead. No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so just so people know, because I kind of, you and I spoke briefly the other day, but part of why I decided to change the idea of my podcast was to be with creatives and artists right now and like connect us all in kind of the process of what this has been like. Because you and I spoke about it, like you see things on social media, and for me, I'll speak for myself, I would see things on social media and be like, everybody's doing amazing stuff with this time and their lives. And then I would just feel worse and deeper in the hole because, And so before Corona, right? When did you move out to LA?
I moved to
pre-Corona.
LA. Yeah, I was like, is this how we're living now? It's like DC. Now it's
I know, right?
Before, like I moved to LA in August of 2018. So I've been here almost 2 years.
Wow, that's been a while.
Yeah, time has flown by, which means I haven't seen you in 2 years.
That's crazy. Dare I say that at least part of the reason you moved out there is because you are a working actor doing well and it brought you out there? I'm just curious.
To be honest, the personal reason brought me out here.
Yeah?
My girlfriend, who's still, we are now domestic partners officially.
Beautiful.
She was not a fan of New York. Thank you.
It's beautiful.
She was not
amazing.
a fan of New York. So she applied for some jobs out here, and at the time my day job was willing to transfer me west. So everything kind of synced up. So she was unhappy, and obviously she means the world to me. So but she was like, I'd like to move to LA. I was like, I was hesitant. I shouldn't be so cavalier. I was not like,
so makes no difference. I'm good.
Well, because it was scary. Because like as an actor, you build up this like network of
course,
fellow actors, casting directors. I love my agent in New York, and so to make that leap without some of those built-in safety nets or networks or whatever you want to say. And as a New York actor, you hear stories about LA and like what the acting community is like out here.
Supposedly very different.
Yeah.
And has it been? Would you say that that's a correct?
There are a lot more of us out here. I think there are a lot more actors out here.
Oh yes.
There,
okay.
But knock on wood, I have yet to experience like an LA horror story. Every casting director I've met has been as lovely as they were in New York.
That's awesome.
Like they're, in LA, like it's been interesting because I've been lucky enough to go into some rooms where they cast some like some big time stuff, and they treat every actor, at least my experience, they've treated me with the utmost respect. They give me, a couple of runs at it. They give me notes. They want you to succeed. And I'm sure that's true in New York as well, but I really have been welcomed by casting directors out here. Yeah. So I would like to put that to rest. Like I've never been in a room, like I remember hearing horror stories where like casting directors would be on the phone or they'd be like talking to other people and you're trying to do your work and they're seemingly ignoring you. Maybe they're somehow paying attention. But they don't. And they give you like, undivided. And then they're curious about you as a human and like your experience and like stuff like that. So it's been really, really lovely. I haven't met, full disclosure, like the actor community out here. Yeah. I don't know if it's because LA is so divided and like, people that live in the valley, for instance.
You're right.
Like in New York where it's like, oh, you live in Brooklyn, I live on the Upper West Side. We can't either date or see each other or, it's like geographically inaccessible.
When I dated people in Brooklyn, that was pretty much like the end of it. I was like not dating anybody in Brooklyn ever again.
Yeah, you're amazing, but I'm not taking the train.
I'm in Queens. This ain't gonna work.
Or, I know Queens to Brooklyn is like the nightmare. It's like, what are my options? The D train?
Yeah.
Yeah. If
like, peace, you're awesome, but done.
Yeah. No, you can't do it. So like here, there is that sort of geographically unacceptable because traffic can be like a factor. So like I've taken some classes out here and that's been really great. And I would suggest that to, I hesitated for like my first 8 months or so out here. Because again, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't want to like just sign up for something and not have a great experience. So
my heart's like pounding because it's such a huge leap, and to not have that safety net or the network set up, it's like kind of starting over. Like you're taking a lot of leaps of faith.
Yeah.
Wow. Good.
You know, and I was lucky enough to come out here with like a manager and an agent and things like that. So
that's
like
huge.
I mean, so fortunate. Like I was able to come out here and sort of like get auditions and like have people rooting for me and working for me. I left my original commercial agency when I got out here just because it wasn't the same vibe, which was really sad.
Because they're bi-coastal?
Yes. So I was with an agency in New York that was bi-coastal. So when I came west, the West Coast office was nice enough to sort of represent me. The experience was very different than my
I'm like different. Yeah.
So through my manager, I was able to find a new agency, and it's been a great fit so far.
Wonderful.
But through acting classes, I've met some fellow actors, and that's been a nice community, even just to like have just a sounding board. Like, what are you doing? How is it going? Like, what's your experience? Where am I on? And I know you shouldn't compare. But you want to know, like, am I in the ballpark? Like, am I like, where are these people in their career?
It's kind of reality check. It's kind of just a litmus test.
100%.
What's what?
100%.
You know?
100%. That's a much smarter way to put it. Yeah.
Into me. Same page.
Yeah. But yeah, so a person who brought me west, it was great. LA's been great. As I've gotten older, I think LA is a much easier life because of things like a car, a little more space. I miss my apartment in Astoria like crazy.
I get that.
But it would be hard to go back to that.
It's different. I mean, like, I grew up in New York. I grew up in Long Island.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I am such a New Yorker, but yet like you said, I love outdoors. Like I want to live on a farm, and like, I want to be able to act and like do things at the highest level that I love and want to do, but like be in peace and quiet with like land and animals. And it's like, it's crazy.
It's nice to have the decompress. Like, I know in New York, like your apartment is like your sanctuary, and it's like the only time you're not surrounded by hordes of people.
Yep.
And I think for good and bad, LA, because you're in your car, because people just aren't on top of each other, you have a little more space. And
100%.
then to your point, there's access because of the weather is so nice. And when coronavirus is not involved, you can go hiking anytime you want. You can go to the ocean. You can go up to the mountains. Like, LA does have that. And I used to roll my eyes and be like, yeah, I know. You have the ocean. I know.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, right. But now I'm like, yeah, it is
the ocean.
Yeah, the ocean. You know, you can go hike. You can go skiing. And it's and you have a car for good and bad.
Right.
Like, I miss certain aspects of the convenience of, you know, subway travel and things like that, but I don't miss when the subway is not moving. I'd rather be in my car.
I am like a way better person without the subway. I'm always like, if I had a lot of money, the two things that I would have, seriously, is a driver to drive me everywhere.
Yeah.
Just because nothing gets me angrier than the subway. Nothing. Like, it's like I become an animal. Like, I'm an animal in my head. I'm like it's just like putrid.
Yeah.
And
I remember those days. Like, the subway would move like just so smooth when I had nowhere to be.
Yep.
But then when I'm like late for an audition or I had to get to work, or it's 95 degrees out and you're standing on the subway platform and you're just sweating through your clothes.
And someone's like on top of you breathing or chewing.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. Someone opens up a to-go container.
Right.
And it's like
a feast.
It's like, really?
Yeah, bro, I smell that like 3 cars away.
It's like falafel and you're just like, what? And I love falafel, but I don't want to smell you.
Not anymore. Exactly.
Yeah.
You made me hate falafel.
And then they leave the container under the seat.
Of course they do. Man, I'm like, oh, this is making me feel good about isolation right now. Like,
I'm just like winding you up. You're just like, Jesus, New York, why am I here? But yeah, so the West Coast, LA has been good so far.
So like, so acting was going well, like going in the rooms was going well.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got out here, I was lucky enough to like, I went into a new casting director and I was able to book one of the first things I auditioned for out here, which was so great. And it was like a Netflix show and it was like a day on set, which is always, I'm still not I walk on set and still like, oh wow, I'm on set. It's like, oh wow, I'm in my trailer. Oh wow, this is cool. But it was nice to come out here and kind of just nab a little something relatively soon after I got here, because it just I think it's like taking that acting class. It's like showing you that you're at least in the ballpark, or that you're in the range of where you should be or need be, or what they're looking for.
And it gives you that hope and that okay, maybe I'm where I'm supposed to be. Good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I compare it to golfing, where it's you have terrible round, and then you have one great shot, and you're like, I'm back. This is what I should be doing. This is what I should be doing.
That's I know. That's how it feels like if I've had a great audition, and I don't even care if I book it at that point, because I'm just like, this is me. This is exactly what I'm I could just feel so I know I was me, and that was enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you walked out of the room and you were like, however this lands.
Yes. I'm good with
about
that.
What I did.
Exactly. I brought it,
it's a great feeling. Yeah.
And it's
but you did the work probably prior. I mean, it's funny, you set yourself up for, or at least I feel like, obviously the more prepared I am, it's true. You can just let go. You can just be like, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny for me, and then I want to say something. For me, it's one of my very close friends who we always we always help each other prep for auditions and on sides. He always would be like, you got to prep, you got to prepare. And he's learned about me that I'm so much better when I don't prepare.
Oh, really?
I do the work. I know I have to know my lines and stuff.
Yeah.
But I play, I read it, I go with my instinct. I play, and then until it feels like, but I used to be so in my head that I could not even be present to act. I was just like, who am I talking to? What's my intention? Blah, 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 blah. And so I'm one of those people. For me, I prepare in the way that I know it has to be truthful. I play, and then I just let it be, and I'm always better. It's weird.
I guarantee you're better.
It's it's a strange thing.
I think similar to you, I'm like, okay, this moment, then this moment, then this moment, and then he's going to feel this. And then I also look at the stage directions and oh, he's angry. Well, is he? Why is he? Maybe I'm not. Maybe anger is not the word, So I think the ability that you allowed yourself the privilege to let go and just get in the room and be like, this is me. This is what I'm going to show you.
I've learned.
It might be right. It might be wrong. But.
Right. But something to be said about going with your instinct and kind of running with that. I think an actor's instinct is I teach an acting class over Zoom right now. It was in person, but now it's over Zoom, obviously. And I always say that, what is your, read it. And even if you've seen it on TV or you've seen it before, instead of having the idea, because it's hard to let go once you've seen it.
Yeah, it's really difficult not to subtly copy or
do it or think it's supposed to be a certain way. So I'm try and read it and just try and understand the person, not like just try and get a feel of the person. And anyway, but I wanted to say, just side note, this is why you are who you are. You were just talking about being on set and being like, oh, wow. And being in your trailer and, oh, wow, it's awesome. Like, and that wasn't your words, that was mine, but your reaction. And that's you're humble. You appreciate what you have. And that's, and it's deserved, but like, you don't take it for granted. At least that's my instinct with you.
Well, I mean, I'm of the idea that, you know, you're working towards something, and and you have been for a long time. And I think a lot of actors, I mean, I'm 40, so like
would never know. Never know. Looking good.
Thank you. I put on moisturizer this morning, so
that'll do it. That and water.
Yeah. So yeah, stay hydrated. But so when someone gives you the opportunity to do something that you love, because I know Charlie Gorrilla is special and original, but there are like 1,000 other guys that could have probably been right for the role, but they picked me. So I think that you should be like, wow, I got this. And like, someone thought I could deliver on this, and I brought something, but it's still like, it's such a gift to be able to act. Like when you really get to do it. So yeah, I just feel like grateful every time I either get it. Like, I still get stoked when an audition pops up. Like, I know. I mean, I'm like, yeah, like, see, I get to go. Yeah, I get to go
do what I love.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
It might work, it might not, but like, I get to go do it.
Right. And I try more and more, and it's so much easier said than done, because I think every actor can get in their head or whatever, but it's crazy, right? I mean, you never think.
Us actors get in our head?
Never.
No.
But I think the more that I've tried to go, I'm just going to go have fun. Like, I'm going to prepare so I know what I need to bring. And then I'm just going to go in there and just really try and have fun and be present. And those are the best auditions. They really are. Yeah. And,
and I think the people in the room also take some of the pressure off them too.
Oh my God.
They're not like, oh God, like, this person is obviously like freaking out. Like,
it's infectious. Like it's with anybody. You walk into a room, if you go on a date, right? And the person is like, you just, like my old acting teacher, he would say, like, you don't want to go in the room and like the stench of desperation, like, waft over to these people. And that's when you go in there and you're so needy and you're like, I want this, I want to, you can smell it. So the more,
and it's an immediate turn off.
Like, immediate. It's people that,
even
like,
if you're right for the role, it's like, they might be like,
because it's like,
I can't handle this energy on set. Like, because, they've got 1,000 other things to worry about. They don't want to worry about you being
no.
Like, do you think, do you want,
right. Do you have any, like, you just gotta, you gotta be able to just
you
go.
You can take a direction. Yeah. But like, come with a choice.
And you should,
like,
right.
It's like, I mean, you're well aware. It's like acting 101. It's like, make a choice. And if it's not the right choice, the director hopefully will help you get to where they want you to be.
Yep.
But like, come with something and don't.
I know.
Yeah.
But my old acting teacher would always say, your talent is in your choices. And like, it's so true.
100%.
Yeah. You and I were saying the other day, we just, when we touched base about doing this, you were saying, like, you haven't really connected with a lot of other actors right now. And during this time, and kind of feeling like starved creatively. How's it been for you, like, since Corona what's it like in LA? Everything, I believe, shut down, right?
Yeah. I mean, LA, I'm assuming is the same as New York, as Atlanta, as Vancouver, as,
Although
wherever.
they're still doing some shoots, like some commercial shoots and stuff, which I'm like, what? Like, so they're following guidelines of like being 6 feet. I have no idea, but they're still doing. Okay. And I'm like, teach his own.
Judge. Yeah.
My friend submitted, and he's like, he was saying to me, he's like, yeah, it's this much money. He's like, I would do it. And I was like, teach his own. But I'm just like, I don't know how anything's happening right now. It's bananas to me.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
your face says it all. You're just like, what?
Well, how are you 6 feet from a makeup person? How are you 6 feet from a hair person? How are you 6 feet from your, like, if you're a couple on a couch selling Spectrum Wireless?
Yeah, I know. Unless they're just like, you stay over there on a roof and like the whole crew is here, do your own makeup and hair. I mean, unless it's that, I have no idea. I know.
Yeah. So to that respect, okay, maybe there's some stuff going on.
No, that's all I know. And I was like, that's crazy. So go ahead.
Yeah. It just, I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna, everyone's gotta do that. For me, yes. Since, mid-March, things have stopped, essentially. The fellow actors that I do know have also stopped for the most part. My brother-in-law is an actor, his sister is an actor.
Oh, wow.
Which is like, those are the actors that I actually communicate. She is a working actor, and she is on a show that was shooting in North Carolina, and then they sent everybody home.
Where was it shooting?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah. So then they sent everybody home. So she's home. This other guy, like, he is a working actor, but I mean, he isn't having any auditions. I have not had any auditions, certainly no commercial auditions. And then I've had a few CDs or casting directors are, I think, interestingly enough, putting out like generals, sort of kind of like, I want to see who's out there. So I've gotten a few stealth tapes for like different things.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yep.
And you put them on tape and you send them off, and you're like, well, who knows? I mean, it's always the self tapes, and it off into the ether, and maybe something will come back.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been, it hasn't been what it was, for sure.
It's, I guess, those opportunities to put something on tape and to like play with something. Like I had one Zoom audition, I guess a couple weeks ago or whatever. And it was like, I wrote the director an email after, and you know how like a lot of people, they write like follow-up emails to like do the right thing. It was completely, yes, that would be nice to do, but it was just so genuine, like how much I appreciated that audition. Like it was a shift for me in all this time. Like it lifted my spirits to play, to be directed, to do things differently, and people laugh with people. It was like, and we were all on a Zoom together doing the audition, and it's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, and I mean, it sounds like you feel the same way as artists. There's a reason we're in this industry, and it's to form that connection and to like be involved and like collaborate and and this pandemic has certainly tried to squash some of that, or it's made it difficult to form those connections. And
100%.
And so I think that's great that this director like put this thing up on Zoom, and you were able to like play and like take your time, and like, I mean, that sounds awesome. I mean, truly. And I imagined it totally. You were like, yeah, I'm an actor, and I'm doing what I want to be doing. And in this time of crisis, when everyone is mentally probably exhausted from like the news and like family member, like who knows what's going on in everyone's life.
Yeah.
But you're like, for that window, you were able to do something that you love and that you haven't been able to do for a long time. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And it's, those things are so, I think, and I'm grateful that happened, but that's, there's not much of that. So like, It's what do we do to be okay right now? And I've told this to you, but I wasn't going to do my podcast because it was different. I already have episodes recorded from, BC before Corona. But I was so uninspired, and I was just so like, everything felt so pointless. And then it was just through like connecting with other actors again that were feeling the same way, just so sad, and everything felt pointless. They can't touch their work. They don't feel inspired. And I was like, you know what? And then talking like that, it helped me go like, feel better. Like it's not just me. Everybody on social media, that's not truth. That's a piece. That's a piece. Maybe you're trying, but like, there's a lot more that goes on. And I wanted people not to feel alone with that. It's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I think the social media component or what has become the social media component of our industry, it makes it more difficult to not go down like the I'm not doing anything rabbit hole. Because, and I think it's great that people are to an extent out there promoting their work and like doing things like that. But like, there's no context. It's like, oh yeah, this is something that I did. Well, did you do it a year and a half ago?
Right.
or did you shoot it like a month ago? Like, I just feel like there's no like,
I think there's
explanation about. Is it from the same thing? Like, did you just chop it up? Like, or are you working that? Which is amazing if you are.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say don't. Like, I'm a huge cheerleader. But it also like puts other actors or other non-working professionals be like, oh.
It's like you said before, the whole compare thing. It's that for me, compare and despair. And then I just, what's wrong with me that I can't do what they're doing, and I feel so sad, and I can't do what's important. And it's I now know I'm not alone with it. So.
You're not, and I think very few actors are just like, I'm good. Like, it's hard not to compare yourself to even people you would never be up against for a role. It's just like they're going out, they're auditioning, they're getting cast, like they're working, they're doing stuff all the time, and you're like, what am I not doing, or what am I missing? And I think as I get older, it's like, and it's helped because some teachers and classes and even my agents have talked me off ledges before. And
thank God, we need that.
They're like, 100%. But they're like, you're not missing anything. It's just like you weren't at that time exactly what they were after. Like, you, Sam, have everything that you need to be successful. But maybe the right thing just hasn't come your way yet, and your friends, maybe they have. I mean, that's awesome, but maybe your thing just hasn't come yet. Or,
I know.
So that's how I'm trying to like be like, because there are things on TV that you could do for sure. I'm sure your mother is probably like, I saw this thing.
Right. People always like, or like, and people that know us, they're like, I could so see you doing that. That's so you, or what? I know you get the same thing. You would kill that. You'd be perfect for that.
You're like, yeah, thanks.
Get me cast.
Like,
get me cast.
You're like, funny enough, that didn't come across my desk. But I just feel like as artists, we just need to give ourselves permission to be okay with where we are and who we are and like what we're doing, as long as we're trying to move the needle forward.
I think there's that combo. I used to say this, like, my brother's like, you made that up? That's good. And I'm like, it just always stuck with me. I'm always like, it's a matter of faith and footwork. Like, and I feel like for me, I try and keep looking at myself and keep trying to figure out what I need to do to be better in my craft, in the field, and in myself as a person. And then it's not on my timeline either. I could do the footwork, but I like you were saying, it's exactly like what you were saying. Like maybe that just wasn't at the right time. It's not my thing yet, or.
And I think that's part of or some of my biggest thing. It's like, you know, because I've asked the questions like, do I need to lift weights? Do I need to like
oh yeah
change who I am to fit some sort of something? And I've always been told no. And I was like, and I ignored it. But as I've gotten older, which has been, I think, a blessing, I've started to just be like, no, this is me. This is what I'm giving you. Take it or leave it. And some, you know, acting teachers and stuff have tried to like drill that into classes that I've taken.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I was like, no, if I just had bigger biceps, like
I get that.
I would be Thor. No, I wouldn't be. like I wouldn't be. My biceps could be the size of bowling balls, and I still wouldn't be Thor. So,
I know.
Like just do your work. And
there's something to be said about like getting older and acceptance. Like I'm happier now and have more it's always a process, right? But more acceptance of myself now than ever. And like all those questions of like, if I was like this, or should I do this, or would I be right for that role? I'd have to look like this and lose this much weight so I could be cast for these things. It's like, maybe I just am me and I can be right for things when I'm right for things as me.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that 5 pounds or that muscle is not going to make or break my career or my life. It's just not.
No, because there's that whole other side of your life. I mean, you talk about your life, and it's like acting and being creative is a component of that life.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a well-rounded actor has so much other stuff going on. And if you're like always worried about that 5 pounds or always worried about that bicep, that other stuff is you're sacrificing everything else on the outside. And then you do go in the room and you're not happy because you have nothing else besides thinking about that bicep or like, I mean, I know the happiest actors I know are the ones that have tons of other stuff like going on.
Well, you know, it's funny because when I first started acting, I was like gung-ho. My whole world was about pursuing acting. And then like stuff happened in my life and it deterred me, you know, took me on a little detour. And then I was so upset with myself that it wasn't the same again, that it wasn't all about acting. But when I look back, it's because so much of the rest of myself and my life was developing also. So it wasn't just about one thing. It was about all these things. And that all fed my acting.
Yeah.
That feeds my whole life, which brings me to whatever I do better, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're I guess if you're like an Olympic athlete I guess acting is kind of like that too, maybe. But I just feel like good actors are more well-rounded people. And you want to be around them. Because, I mean, I like talking about acting. I do.
Me too.
But I also like talking about politics, the environment. I mean,
depends who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, like, you know, depend. Yeah, I mean, it changes, but like I just get so, because then when actors get together, obviously, I think you're probably aware of this. Like it starts to become a resume comparison, or like what, you know, it just, I don't know. So I like to kind of steer clear of the industry and talk to people about themselves.
That's what.
Hopefully they have something to say.
Yeah, I think the best actors that I know, or friends of mine, are, like I say, good people. Like I like being around them. I like who they are as a person. And it's a bonus that they're good at acting. Like, good for them, and I root for them. But like, that's partly why they're good at acting, because they're very human. And I that's what I'm drawn to. I'm drawn to socially and emotional intelligence, you know, people that
you just like being around them.
Yeah.
Like regardless of the acting thing. Like you would like them even if they weren't.
Right.
Like you came into contact with them possibly because they're in the industry.
Exactly.
But you would be friends with them if they weren't.
Exactly. And, like you and I would have never met. No. And it's like, it's, you know, ever, or maybe who the hell knows, but like, you know what I mean? And
sure.
But it's such a bonus when it's such a bonus to meet like nice people, a nice human, as well as an actor, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've met some really amazing humans through this industry. Yeah. And I think that's a misconception that that there isn't more depth to us as in front of the camera type people.
Yes.
Because everybody's got stuff going on.
There's a lot. It's so funny because I would always say this. I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like in a lot of ways, there's kind of two kinds of actors. And then there's one that kind of falls in between. I feel like there are very competitive, self-driven actors.
Oh, I was like, is there another something?
I was trying to think, but it's about them. And it is about, and there's not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, it's about them. It is all about them. Mm-hmm. They're very, very strategic about their competition, and then there's other actors that I think it's about connection and the process and collaboration. And there's this like generosity of like, that kind of comes around, goes around, you're all support each other. Yeah. I think there's and then I feel that there's like ones that are very, very self-driven that wind up having to adapt a little bit to be more generous if put in the right situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say that. Well, because the people that are so it's funny, self-driven or
self-absorbed. I mean,
yeah.
I think I could be self-absorbed. I think any human can, but actors can also be very self-absorbed.
Yeah. Well, because so much of what we do is like you're not on a team, you're not in a company. It's right. Like you're presenting only you. So I can see how actors get sort of self-involved in like, well, what can I do, or what am I doing, or what me, or and in the room it's like I have to shine, I have to like I. But the best actors I know are like, how can I make the other shine? Or like, how can I make the casting director feel great? Even like before we even start.
Yeah.
And I love, you know this, I'm a talker. I love the preamble before the camera starts. Probably too much. So people are like,
no, I love it.
This is going into 15 minutes long. We had scheduled you for 3 minutes. So
people do it because they like you. That's you have that energy.
Because at the end of the day, I think like the relationship, regardless of what's on the human-to-human relationship is what I love about our industry. And then like you get to entertain people, and like you get to like work on some stuff and be a person that maybe you're not. But yeah, I just love the human connection of the room.
I always ditto. And I always think about it because like when I do get into fear about, you know, what I want my life to look like with acting and really getting further on with that, and like the fear of like, what if, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, being a casting director too, for a long time. And a lot of people see me as just a casting director, it's all these things. But ultimately I'm like, I try and again, have faith that I bring me to everything I do. I meet people. I'm going to keep pursuing what I love, what I think I'm meant to do. And I think it is about the relationships. I just feel like things will come together, like the connections we talk about, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like I had an acting teacher one time that was like, book the room.
I love that.
So, and I subscribe to that, maybe too much.
No.
But it's like, think about like, they want to work with people that they like. You want to work with people you like.
Yeah.
And you might not be right for this particular Law and Order, SVU,
Right.
cop, or whatever. But like, if they like you, they will bring you in again, and they will keep bringing you in again until it is the right thing for you. But if you're not a warm human,
yeah,
I think you're much easier to dismiss. And if it's not genuine, because there are actors, I'm sure you are well aware, that like turn on, and you're like, I can see through this. This is phony.
It's
like this is so phony.
And I can tell, and it's funny because as soon as like any actor friends or whatever, like find out that I'm a casting director, there are certain people where immediately something shifts with the way that they approach me. Certain people.
A dynamic, yeah.
And it's like, there's, now it's like, what can I get? Like, how can I manipulate this? And you can feel it, and teaches them, but like, you can feel it. And to what you were saying before, like about booking the room. So in case other people haven't heard that, it's about like, you don't need to book the job, you need to book the room. Or, you want to book the job, but
of course, yeah.
That's it. I'm just saying in case nobody's ever heard that before. And that's that's exactly what we're talking about. But also you were talking about like when I'm casting, there was something you said. One is that when I speak to my students and stuff, I say the whole me thing. I say, when you're going into an audition, don't think about like, what can I get from this? Can I get this job? What can I get? Think about what you can bring into that room. What can you give to make it good for everybody? Like, just what can you give, not what can I get? And I think for me, that mindset is then I'm being of service to the craft, to the project, and it takes me out of making it about me. And like, I'll stop my auditions when like if I have two actors coming together and they're reading, when I notice that they're generous, I will literally stop the audition. And I want to be like, I just want to say, thank you for being a generous actor. Thank you. When people are giving to one another, I swear I could cry. Like, it moves me so much.
That's amazing.
Because I think especially actors, it could be a really lonely, difficult road. I always felt like everybody got the instruction manual on how to do it, and I like never got it, and it's like very hard, but I think it's hard for a lot of people to figure it out.
I think so. And I think giving yourself the latitude to like make the mistakes or like learn from your bumps and bruises and like your like auditions that you blow, or you read a script and you're like, this is the character. It is not, you're not even in the right ballpark, maybe even the right sport.
And it happens. It happens. That's part of the process.
But I also think that like when I've like shit the bed.
You're good.
And you walk out of that room and you're like, shit the bed.
Yeah.
But you're like, okay, I survived. Like, like they may or may not ever bring me in again, but I survived. And like, I'm okay. Like,
and
I'm okay.
And I've heard from people too, like a friend of mine, he did really bad in an audition. He's like, I don't know if they'll ever bring me in again. And I'm pretty sure that they did. And the thing is that even if you mess up, if they've seen you before, especially, they know every actor has a bad day, has a bad audition. Like the more, which is great, the more that casting directors get to see you, they get to know that, all right, they flubbed that was shitty, but we'll bring
Sam 95% of the time is like money, she's on it, she's prepared.
Right.
Like maybe the subway, like, and I know you're supposed to leave it at the door, but like it's hard to not bring in something of your day. Or 5 minutes before.
We're only human. We're only human. It happens.
But I think we have to allow ourselves, again, that latitude to be human. Like, it makes us better actors.
Oh my God.
Like, you might go in and you might not nail it.
Shit the bed. You could say it.
Yeah. I'm like, is this like, what's this rated? What is this podcast rated?
You're allowed to cuss.
Okay, all right.
I've seen a lot worse.
Okay, yeah, because I have a sailor mouth.
Oh, really? Oh, you could be you. You're golden.
Okay.
I should give people the heads up. Be you.
Okay, yeah, just uncensored. Charlie Gorrilla.
Like, shit the bed.
You'll be like, Charlie, maybe not go Eddie Murphy raw necessarily, but yeah. But yeah, so I think as actors, we just have to allow ourselves that latitude to like fuck or mess up and be okay.
Have you been during Corona? Have you been gentle with yourself and
gentle with myself?
Yeah, that sounds way dirty.
It's like there are numerous ways to take that.
Have you been caressing?
Very gentle with myself. No, I mean during Corona, it's been interesting. Like I've been in touch with, like I say this, and this is like my agents and my manager and stuff.
Yeah.
Checking in because I like them as humans. And they like, what's interesting is they feel so badly that like, no, they're not keeping me busy.
Yeah.
And I feel like, which is another interesting aspect because it's like what are they supposed to do?
I know.
Like they can't create auditions if there are no auditions. I
know.
So, I mean, so it's been nice to keep in touch with them just like on a personal level.
Yeah.
But I've been keeping myself busy with like house stuff. We have a garden. I planted privacy hedges.
What do you plant?
Like, so we have a yard now.
Yeah.
And
so you guys don't know this, but Charlie bought a house. Can I say that?
Yes. Sure. Yeah.
Such a wonderful, beautiful thing. Congrats.
Living in New York, never thought it was going to happen.
Can't do it in New York. It's just not possible.
No. So when we moved to LA, also misconception, LA is as expensive as New York.
I was curious.
If you're a New York actor being like, LA is going to be so cheap.
It's not.
Nope. It's not.
Wow.
Rent, you maybe get apartment, you maybe get a little more square footage for your dollar.
Yeah.
But if you want, just like in New York, if you want to live in a nice neighborhood that you can either walk or have accessibility to your Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, like all that nonsense.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for it.
Also,
you have a car insurance, gas. Public transit is not great here, especially if you're auditioning. And car insurance is more expensive than it was in New York, which is baffling to me. But there are more cars, more drivers, some more accidents, I think. So that would be something where I was like, oh, LA's gonna be so cheap.
I thought it was. Wow.
It's not. Maybe it might have been 25 years ago. Like the difference between New York and LA might have been something. But now it's like, so when we moved, we were looking at apartments to rent, as you do. And we were like, well, we're probably going to be paying as much for rent in a neighborhood that we really want to live in. So if we can scrape together like the nugget for the down payment, we can probably just use the rent money for a mortgage.
Yeah.
So we were able to
that's amazing.
Make that happen. So so we have a house, we have a yard. So what privacy hedges are?
Yes.
They essentially are hedges that grow so tall that your neighbors can't see into your yard.
So we used to have those at my house in Long Island.
Yeah.
But they were they were absurd. They were like, they did not belong. Finally, like I got my dad to get rid of them. They were just like absurd. We had this little house on Long Island. It was like, it just covered the entire, it was insane. You were just like stuck in them. To get to the front door, you were like, ugh.
Oh, really? Yeah. So
bizarro. Yeah.
Houses in our neighborhood are very close together, as they are around most of Los Angeles. So it like gives you that space to like kind of like not have your neighbors like be like,
yeah, So that's a biggie.
Yeah, and I think, you know, in New York, there's not a ton of privacy when you live in an apartment complex and things like that. So I think, we're just trying to do that. And it just creates shade, and it's like a nice little aspect.
So nice.
So this week we put those in, and we have a garden going, and I've been mowing the lawn. I mean, it's just like random domestic house stuff, painting inside the house, patching walls, painting pictures, like all the stuff that prior to Corona, BC, I didn't either have time for, like the weekends, you know, you're like,
I just want to do something. I want to hang or whatever. Yeah.
Or I want to get out. I mean, it's LA, you know, it's sunny, it's beautiful. Like, let's go up to Malibu. Let's go, like, whatever. So, so this is actually, I mean, my, Nicole has been teaching distance. So her days Monday through Friday are full. So she's doing web, like Zoom teaching. So it's better when I'm not in the house because I'm like banging around and stuff. So I'm in the yard a lot, and I'll go for walks and runs and stuff like that. But sorry, I'm not trying to.
No, I'm happy for you. I'm in a jail of an apartment in Queens, but I'm very happy that other people are not.
Yes, and you have like someone to be in jail with,
which to be honest, like it's a studio apartment, and
it's great.
Thank God, like a big studio. And we kind of made this kind of huge bookshelf thing that divides it into like bedroom and living room. But we're together 24/7, and like that could make or break stuff.
Yeah, I think the divorce rate's going to probably skyrocket after
I heard people are having rough times, and like, I'm so grateful. We get along so well. We laugh.
Everything.
There's days where I cry. Like, woke up the other day just crying. It just hits me. I know. He was just sleeping, and I'm like, and I like went into the bathroom, and I'm just like, because it just kind of hits me sometimes right now, you know. But yeah, you don't have space to do that alone. So I'm like,
no. I mean, it's brought us closer together, to be honest.
That's a beautiful thing.
Which I think has been great. And I don't know, you know, it's hard to be like, until this happened, like you never thought you'd be, you know, essentially locked in your apartment with your significant, or we'd be not locked in our house, but like,
no.
I mean, it's like you wake up, they're there. Your day, they're there. You go to sleep, they're there. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And we don't even really leave the apartment, like once a week, maybe, because no joke, we like even going down the flight of stairs in the apartment building, like we have it's just, you do the mask and the glasses and the hood and and people going down the flight of stairs, and there's a woman just walking around, no mask, no nothing. And we're just like, just even getting out is like, so
it's infuriating.
So we're like here, and I'm so grateful. He's my best friend, and like, and thank God, like I'm
here.
It's the best thing. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful
to have someone. I think about those people, like even the elderly, you know, that are alone,
alone,
so alone and isolated, and you know,
breaks my heart.
And like you can stream Netflix all you want, but again, there's something to that connection and having another human in, like, physically in your space at points.
Right. But
99.9% of the time, it's amazing.
We're human beings. That's the hard part. I don't believe that we are meant to be alone. I think, look, babies die if they're not held, if they're not given love. They literally die. That's a fact. And I don't think, even though we adapt and we can, you know, take care of ourselves, I still think that we need contact and companionship to some degree.
Yeah.
And it's so hard.
Yeah. I mean, how you choose to get it is your own prerogative, but I think everybody needs, or just about everybody needs, that sort of human to human connection in some form or fashion. Maybe not romantic, but
anything,
whatever.
companionship, friendship, just company.
Yeah.
Connection.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
100%.
Yeah. And just, I just wish like the craziest thing about this is that like that there's an older gentleman in my building that I think he's pretty senile, and he's such a lovely old man, and he will run into him. I won't say a lot in case he ever hears switch, whatever, but he's a lovely older man, and I don't think anybody's there to take care of him. And I haven't seen him, and I just worry. Like, I wish I could go help, but I won't even go see my dad because who's half an hour away, but because just in case.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one responsible for
hurting anybody.
Yeah,
you know?
Transmitting something that you don't even may know that you have. Or,
exactly.
Yeah, it's like this catch-22. It's like you want to reach out so badly now, but the repercussions of reaching out now,
I know,
could be so,
I know,
disastrous.
It's a crazy time.
Yeah, it really is.
But this is, I'm so glad, like, this for me is, it's important and it's beautiful to like, we wouldn't do this otherwise. And
no, I was thinking about that. I was like, I've been out here for 2 years and I haven't seen you.
I know.
In 2 years, and I don't think we've really chatted. Maybe outside of social media, like for like a hot second.
Yeah. Maybe a text or whatever. You know, here that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you were someone I really enjoyed when I was in New York.
Thank you. Ditto.
You haven't changed, which is the best part.
You too, which is you can't say that about everybody, especially all you LA folks.
Oh yeah, LA people, we're nightmares. We get out here and I'm just gonna drink green juice and I'm just gonna go to hike and I'm gonna go surfing. And that's how I thought it was. And there is some of that for sure.
Yes, but there's a lot.
People eat carbs out here. It's like it's real. There are real people in LA. It's not just superficial nonsense.
I love that.
I know, but I miss New York. So.
Yeah, you're gonna come for a visit after this.
I would like to. I'd like to. Well, no, I mean, I would like to get back. It's like New York. Visiting New York is the best New York there is.
I know.
You're there. You're like 3 days, 4 days. Like nothing bothers you. You're spending money like it doesn't matter.
I know.
Going to great restaurants. Yeah, like taking cabs versus probably taking the subway. You know, like. I mean, you're doing it right.
You're doing it right.
And you're like, I got my fix. Just as it was starting to become bothersome. Like you just get to see all your friends that were there. But yeah, it's been a minute. I miss it for sure. But right now.
Soon, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, it would be nice. But obviously we have to take proper precautions.
Take it as it comes. Exactly.
Yeah, whatever those are.
So I have this portion of Big Face, and it's called A Feather in Your Cap.
Okay, what does that mean? Is it,
and
it's like James Lipton, his 10 questions or whatever it was.
In the Actor Studio, exactly. Mm-hmm. This is better. So... Just kidding.
Big face with the confidence. I love it. Okay.
It's big, you know? You got to come out big, swinging.
Yeah.
So with a feather in your cap, we mean a success or an achievement, maybe something you've learned that has helped you or that may help you in the future. That it's kind of like a feather in your cap. And so each week I ask my guest if they have a feather in their cap that they'd be willing to share with viewers that might help them.
Do you want the feather in the cap to be industry related or just anything?
Anything. That's the beauty of it.
The one thing I would say is like, don't waste your time with people who don't make you a better version of yourself. Like, I think it's, do you want it just like that? Just like little button?
Oh, you feel free to elaborate on, that's beautiful. Feel free to if you want.
I just feel like, especially in this industry, we have this, there's this sort of like expectation where you have to like give 10,000 people your time and like and gives and gives and gives all of like, because it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of giving of yourself.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, and it can be exhausting. And then it's a lot of taking. Like people take, and a lot of industry people take. And I feel like as I've gotten older, it's just not worth it. Like I really try to surround myself, primarily with people that lifts me up, make me a better version of myself, and then that in turn gives me more energy to like give back to them. So it is cyclical.
It is cyclical,
and there's nothing wasted on like superfluous nonsense.
That's a beautiful feather in your cap, for real. I had a friend the other day, and that's pretty much what he's taken out of this experience so far with Corona, that no more, like going forward with his life, he's like, I am not taking that part of my life back into the new life. Like, I'm not going to waste my time with things that aren't good, with people that aren't good for me. And that's a great one. Thank you for that.
Sure.
I love that.
I mean, it took me a long time to learn that, but I just
still learning it. And
of course. And it's easy to say, and it's like sometimes it's hard to execute because there are people in your life, whether it's at your job or the industry or whatever, that you can't exactly like completely like cut out, but you can try to balance it.
Boundaries.
Boundaries are.
That's a big one.
Boundaries are a big.
That's a lifelong learning.
Yep. For sure.
And just when I think I like got it, I go to like another layer of the onion where I'm like, I'm still dealing with this crap. Like, I'm like, crap, I thought I went past this.
Mm-hmm. Like, I looked at the rearview mirror. Like, that was so long ago. No,
it's crazy.
I mean, we're ever evolving, I guess.
Yeah, always.
Hopefully. So.
I'm so glad you could be here.
Yeah. Thank you for asking me to do this. This was a lot of fun.
That's what I love, that we got to connect, and let's definitely connect again soon.
Yeah, for sure.
We should.
I love seeing what you're doing too. Like,
thank you. And I'll keep you posted, and we'll keep everybody posted when Charlie's episode will be airing. And also tell us your any links or your social media, anything that I'll also post it with the episode, but anything where people can find you if they want to see or know more. No, privacy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on the social, like, I'm on Facebook,
I get it,
and Instagram and stuff like that. I'm not real like professionally on those things.
Yeah, good for you, man. I fight
IMDB. Yeah, I know it's like you want to like talk about that, but then I also keep that part of my life pretty close, which I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
And different feedback from different, and I feel like
because you have people being like, no, you need to like
build your brand, and like,
and I'm like, I feel like the people that will want to find me or that are worth will find me. I mean, you're doing your
connecting and stuff outside of the social media world.
Yeah, like I tried, like, let my work speak for itself when you find it or whatever. So
I love that.
I'm out there on social media. So
okay,
and I'm not some like weird name. I'm not, I'm just So
I just pictured all these different versions of spellings of your name to make you very private.
I was like, it's
Gorrilla.
No, I wish it was fancy. It's not. It is not.
Such a great name. And it's just, notice, it is 2 R's, 2 L's. Get it right or pay the price.
Come on, people. Come on. When I'm in
2 R's, 2 L's.
Yeah.
We have to have lately I've been having Zoom game nights.
We've done a few of those.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Cards Against.
Okay. Is it the games you don't like, or is it the whole platform?
Well, I think.
Oh, wait, I lost you. Hold on. There you go. You muted for a sec. Go ahead.
Oh.
You're back.
Now you're through my computer.
Okay, so let's see. Technical guys, hold on, give us a sec. So you're feeling or not feeling the card games, the Zoom. Hold on, still got we got technical again. I lost you. Try again. Hold on. So
sorry
now,
about that.
No, guys, technical difficulties. This is quarantine life. It's what we do.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Yeah, welcome. So
yeah,
Zoom
so
game
like
night.
the social aspect of games is what I enjoy about games. Like,
Yes.
I mean, Cards Against Humanity, an amazing game. But it's more fun when people are in the room.
Yeah.
And you can because, with Zoom, you have to wait for someone to talk and then, so the banter, I'm a fan of the banter.
Yes. You have exactly, because it's the whole being in the same time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My brother got this, all these games that you play through Zoom and you share the screen and you use your phone as where you enter in all your answers and where you draw your pictures. It depends what game you're playing, and they all pop up on the screen so everybody can see them. So I know. So your phone is actually like your remote, as if you're drawing. Let's say it's like Pictionary. Like if you're drawing, everybody sees your picture from you're doing it on your phone.
From your phone.
So yes, and so it's awesome because you're playing a game and you can all see it and you see each other's written answers and you laughing together and you're like, you son of a bitch, so you're playing together and actually seeing everything together.
That's fun. I mean, that's
a totally different thing.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
I'll invite you to a game night and you could check it out. With just a few people. It's if you guys want to do it.
Okay. I'll run it up the flagpole.
Yeah, I was gonna say, see.
Yeah, see what happens.
My guy's nice. He's gentle.
Sorry.
I'm just saying that because he's here.
You're that son of a bitch that was on. Yeah. I'm like, sorry.
I'll see if I can get him to take a walk or something.
Yeah. Hey, could you run down to the grocery store and for 3 hours?
Let's make another pizza night. Go for a run.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, I mean, we've been actually trying to be social, yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It's Nicole has a lot of friends that are on the East Coast, some that are international. So it's been a great way to because she was in the Peace Corps, so it's a lot.
My brother too.
Oh yeah, where was he stationed?
Mozambique. He was in Africa.
Oh.
Where was she?
Fiji.
What? When? I know. I'm curious. My brother was. It
was 10 years ago, so probably 2008, 2009.
Okay. Yeah, my brother was there. I think 2005 or 6.
Okay.
But
she was 25. That was 15 years ago. Maybe 2004. Maybe 2005.
I'm laughing. I'm in my head because my brother always shocks me with that how many Peace Corps people are connected through other Peace Corps people.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm I wonder if my brother knows her.
It's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Right? That's exactly so crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if they.
I know. You'll tell me. You could tell me after we wrap up her last name so nobody else stalks her. But
sure,
and I'll run it by my brother.
Yeah, I was I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even.
And so we've been chatting with.
Yeah.
Her community, which has been great. Sometimes it's 7 a.m. and I think her friend is in Vietnam, and then on the East Coast, it's 10:30 at night. But her friends are really they're tight, so it's been been good. But I just don't think you can duplicate the human experience when you're in the same room with people.
No, you can't. It's just it's better than nothing.
Yes, 100%.
And I'll be in a funk and not feel like it, and then. But I make myself do it. And then it's I laughed. I laughed a lot and I needed that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's good. It's pulling teeth sometimes to get me to
yeah.
check in.
It's yeah.
But I'm glad I do.
Me too. And I'm glad you did today.
Yeah. Well, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being here.
For sure.
I'll invite you to a Zoom game night. Yeah, you're awesome. So guys, tune in to, well, you already tuned in if you're watching this. So you were checking us out either on YouTube or one of the pod sites. But thank you for being here with Big Face, with me, Sammy Jane, and my man, Charlie Gorrilla. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Amazing having you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Yay! Thanks, Charlie.